welcome to the Pulse of Africa community. I hope you're doing great today. If you're joining us for the first time, don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe to stay informed and connected to Africa's most important news reports. Your engagements will help this video to reach more people. Thank you very much. This weekend in Port, the Center-South, Captain Ibrahim Traoré delivered a fiery speech, part battle cry, part ultimatum, warning soldiers. President Ibrahim Traoré praised the troops in Port for securing one of Burkina Faso's most stable regions, but warned that complacency is deadly. In a blistering address, he framed the conflict as a fight for sovereignty against neo-colonial forces, declaring, "They want our land without us." He announced a crackdown on soldiers using phones in combat zones after terrorists admitted exploiting the habit for attacks. Traoré also touted self-funded military growth and infrastructure projects, vowing Burkina Faso would catch up and overtake developed nations. Let's listen to the English translated version of this powerful speech.
J'ai tenu ce matin à passer vous dire. This morning, I wanted to come by and congratulate you to all the forces of APO and the region by far. Congratulations on the work done. It's one of the most peaceful regions, and that doesn't mean it's over. I also encourage you to continue the fight. It's a very dense area with enough forest. Of course, you were able to push back the enemy who had tried to establish themselves here, and I hope that you will continue to patrol this forest to make sure that there is no desire to return. So I said congratulations, but also my encouragement for the future. I hope I'm making myself understood. Just because the enemy can no longer penetrate doesn't mean it's over. It's a war. And here we are at the National Commando Training Center. A commando, he knows what it means, infiltrations. So the enemy is able to infiltrate. This data must be taken into account and therefore remain constantly on standby. After that, I hope that everyone will be able to reflect on their commitment, because we have a war that has been imposed on us. And today, more than ever, I think that all the forces that are fighting must understand why we are fighting. I often tell the leaders of the elements to be able to explain to the men why we are fighting. We don't fight because we want to fight. We are fighting because we have been attacked. They came to impose a war on us. And why was this war imposed on us? I think everyone needs to understand that. Because they want our land without us. And it didn't start today. It's always been like that. The case for Africa. Remember slavery, where we came to deport many Africans. The bravest, by the way, those who were old enough to procreate, who were deported. Many have died, and Africa has been emptied. Then came the time of colonization, when they settled here. They massacred us, they massacred our ancestors. They killed as much as possible. Africa has been colonized many times, and today more than ever. It is a new form of colonization. And why is Africa suffering so much? Because we have wealth that interests the imperialists. I think each of you needs to understand that. If you are able to put yourself on the front line to fight until the supreme sacrifice, as they say, it is because you understand the meaning of your commitment. You have come to defend the nation, to protect this land that our ancestors have bequeathed to us. The predecessors wrote us the anthem, and I think that when you listen to the anthem of Burkina Faso, it starts with against, because they oppose several forms of colonization. The Burkinabe is against humiliation. We are against any form of domination. The Burkinabe is against neo-colonialism. And it is all this that you must take into account to understand that they wrote the anthem to oppose a certain number of facts in this world. They defended this land and they bequeathed the land to us. And our duty is to fight and defend our land as well, to bequeath it to our children. Today we are fighting, but not necessarily for ourselves, but for our children. Who here does not love his child? For those who have children. Everyone loves their child. If a danger were to happen to a child, the father prefers to take the danger to spare the child. This is to say that the father prefers to die so that his child survives. So we are fighting today. It is for the generations to come to bequeath them better land and so that they can live comfortably. So there is no reserve in this fight. We will oppose everything these dominators want to impose on us. And you must continue to fight for it. Listen carefully to our anthem, and it should give you more motivation. Get involved, because I often say Burkina Faso is very rich. Today we have grown in terms of the number of personnel in the armed forces, in the internal security forces, and in terms of equipment as well. We have made a lot of efforts. But where did we get these resources? Understand that there was mismanaged wealth, and there is even more. Because as some people think or may imagine, There is no bank where you are going to take out a loan in that world to pay for armaments. There is none. We don't lend in this world to pay for armaments. If you want to arm yourself, you have to use your own funds.
Oh,
But in the recent past, we were projected we were armor fight that. Far from it. I think there are many elders here who have experienced the same thing, who can advise the younger ones what we were going through only yesterday and what we are going through today. And it should give you motivation to fight. And that's very important. Fight for your land, fight to bequeath a better Burkina to future generation. Fight so that we can decently exploit our resources and that it benefits us. We have launched several initiatives. Our parents in the village are in any case more or less happy with everything we do for them in terms of agriculture, because our population is mostly agriculture, for everything we're doing in terms of road infrastructure, to be able to get around and everything. But all this is with our resources. You look at the images of other countries. You would like your country to look like these so-called developed countries too. Think it's impossible? Well, it is possible. I was saying to someone 2 years ago in other countries, even animal hospitals are often better equipped than our hospitals to treat us, in terms of equipment and everything. But what have we done to get us to this level? Well, we're going to catch up and overtake. This is what has led us to launch programs, also to be able to build modern and equipped health centers. There is no reason why we should lag behind. This is to say that everything we do, there is the possibility of doing it. That's why we do it, and we will continue in this direction. Those who are lucky enough to go on an internship outside, who take photos on the side of pretty streets, pretty buildings, it's possible here in Burkina. And that's what we're going to do to make sure you live at ease. But for that, you have to fight first. This is why I say we must meditate on our commitment. Listen to our hymn and fight. You are very courageous, very combative. But often there are these attitudes that cause you unnecessary losses, especially the use of cell phones. Those who are going to be unable to change, to drop the phone in operation, we will look for them from our ranks and we will punish them severely. Because we are not going to allow the lives of others to be put at risk because of someone who has a telephone addiction. You can imagine you are on secondment, on your position. Good soldiers mounted the faction, concentrated at their posts. They finish, they go down, they have to rest. And a saboteur ends up at the post with his cell phone on TikTok or whatever, until the enemy approaches, attacks, and good soldiers can die in their rest. Do you want us to leave them in our ranks? Is that what you want? So we will seek them out of our ranks, and we will punish them. I have already instructed the military commanders to identify as much as possible those who have this addiction who cannot part with their phones. We are going to get them, and we are going to punish them, because what they are doing is criminal. We can't tolerate that. Of course, we raise awareness, but we cannot tolerate it. You can keep the small phones. That's just to call the family. But if there is no reason, we deal with it. Those who have parents who are magistrates or others, who may participate in the courts that judge terrorists, can find out more with them. Whether it is in the courts, whether it is the terrorists who are taken into action as prisoners, whether it is those who surrender, all of them unanimously tell us that they managed to succeed in certain attacks because of the excessive use of our soldiers' telephones. So if there is no awareness of getting rid of it, we will crack down. So in a short time you will see people disbarred, probably in prison, because they are putting the lives of others in danger, and they cannot separate. In any case, it's pretty clear. There is a note from the military hierarchy that prohibits the telephone in operation. After the awareness-raising phase comes the repression phase. We will not tolerate people putting the lives of others at risk. Even your own life that you put in danger with the phone, you don't have the right, because you don't belong to yourself. A soldier, he belongs to the army. You don't belong to yourself. You don't have the right to do what you want. You do what the army wants. So everyone must be able to pass on the message, so that this phenomenon can be fought. If I say this insistently, it is because it is quite serious. It often nullifies your courage, and it often causes you to lose good fighters, because they were resting, and a false fighter made the enemy approach. Attack and find them who are not ready. So fight this excessive use of the phone, and pass on the message as clearly as I pass it on to your comrades. I know that here you will find soldiers of all classes. Convey this message as clearly. And those who are also intoxicating in the ranks, because they may also be intoxicated by the stateless people who are surely outside and who continue to fight Burkina Faso on social networks, through the media and everything. You have to be very careful. When someone tells you not to fight, they want to subdue you. Do you want to be a slave? Do you want to be dominated? So we have to fight. There is no single solution. The Burkinabe will not negotiate with his enemy. We will fight, and we will win. That's the only thing that can prevail. There will not be a single negotiation with anyone. It's our nature. We will fight. Those who have come to attack us, they will die on this earth. We will not give up. Absolutely nothing, not even a single square centimeter. So I wish you to continue to prepare, to always remain in a state of alert. Even if you are not on an operation, you must remain on alert, because at any time you can be on an operation. We must prepare for combat, and this war must not last, because we will do everything possible to ensure that the combat resumes a certain intensity and annihilates this enemy. Congratulations to all the forces that are fighting, and I hope that you will continue to be one with the civilian population, because this is very, very important. We didn't necessarily have this love between the army and the civilian population years ago. It wasn't easy. There were small fights not to end up in the maquis, in the neighborhood. But today the army and the population are united. And this is the essential factor for the success of operations. That way you have the information, the intelligence you need. You are supported morally. You are supported psychologically. So there is no reason to be in low spirits. There is no reason not to go for it, not to continue. Continue to cultivate this love with the people. Keep helping them. Continue to participate in uniting them too. Because our past of a few decades of bad politics has contributed to weakening our different social strata, to dividing people often on trivial issues. And your role is also to help unite them today. Because your voices carry. Civilians believe in you today. When a soldier stands up and talks to a dozen civilians, they listen to him, and it's easier for civilians to carry out what you're telling them. So each of you must be an ambassador of peace, of cohesion for our civil brothers, and continue to play this role as well. Take advantage of these moments of love between us. Talk to them. Bring them together. To be able to let go of certain divisions that have arisen just because of politics. And you have to contribute to that. Because the military is not just about holding the weapon, running, killing. No. You are trained. Beyond that, if you defend the homeland, it is because there are all these values that you embody, and that you must also be able to exploit to unite your civilian populations. Good training for those who are still on an internship. Good luck. We don't let go of morale, do we? It's hard here, but only the tough guys get through. And you're tough, and you have to pass. For those who are on the ground, I wish you very good luck in the operations, and continue to scour the various forests to detect possible infiltrations. Continue to protect these people who believe only in you, who rely only on you. May God accompany you in your various missions. May God protect you throughout your various battles. May you come back safe and sound to tell us about the battles, and may we be able to build our Burkina Faso as we wish. Homeland or death, we will win.
Captain Ibrahim Traoré's vision of self-reliance is equally bold. By rejecting foreign dependency, Traoré is betting on Burkina Faso's ability to fund its own survival. Whether this approach sustains long-term stability remains to be seen, but for now, his message is clear. Burkina Faso will fight alone if necessary. What are your thoughts? Can discipline and patriotism alone turn the tide in this conflict? Drop your comments below. That's all for this special report. If you found this insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Pulse of Africa. For more inspiring coverages like this, shaping our continent, hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay informed and stay empowered.